Hey guys, welcome back to the channel today. Today I'm reviewing the 2018 action comedy, spy comedy, action spy comedy film, The Spy Who Dumped Me. Basically, if you haven't seen this film, what it's about is it follows Mila Kunis' character, who is dumped by her boyfriend, who we then find out is a spy. And basically, her and her best friend, who's played by Kate McKinnon, basically have to go on this whole crazy zany adventure because of it. Basically, it's a pretty interesting concept. I mean, honestly, this isn't a bad film. It actually is pretty funny for the most part. There are some of the jokes I think get a little redundant, and I think that, basically some of the scenes could have been cut out. This movie is really long. There are like 3 fake endings in this film. It's like, hey, okay, this is gonna end now, and then it's like, oh no, it was a fake out. Okay, okay, now it's gonna end, and then it's like, oh, it's a fake out again. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but I know I was in the movie, and I was watching the movie. I kind of felt like, okay, it's not over yet. Why is it not over yet? It should be over right now. And it's stuff that's just been going on for too long, and I don't normally have that feeling with movies, but I also think maybe I also expected comedies to be slightly shorter than some of the average films and stuff I don't want to say the average films, so some of the action films or drama, stuff like that. I just assume the comedy's going to be shorter. It wasn't that it was super long. I mean, let me see, it was just under 2 hours. I mean, I usually think about a comedy movie to be around roughly like an hour and a half, maybe an hour and 40 minutes, but usually about an hour and a half is what I'd say. Again, it wasn't a bad film. I do think it has its moments. It's just a bit long. The other thing that I thought when I saw this film, it's kind of reminds me of Spy from a few years ago, just with civilians now, and 2 people instead of 1. I think Spy actually was a really good movie. I thought it was a lot of fun. This, I think, is a good movie. I think it's I don't even necessarily want to say it's a good movie. I think it's a solid film. It's a solid film. It has a lot. I think it has flaws. I don't think that the characters were the best. I mean, Kate McKinnon plays the same character in like every film. I feel like, and it's always the really eccentric character. And she's not a bad actress by any means. But it just kind of gets really old. And there's some things that her character does that's just like, why? What was the purpose of this? I don't see a need. I just wasn't a huge fan. Mila Kunis' character isn't bad, but again, like, her character could have been fleshed out. There are decisions that these 2 women make in the film and stuff that are just like, oh, I don't think that's something somebody would actually do here. But again, it's not a bad film by any means. It's not. Again, there are some jokes that are really, really funny. It's just there are some jokes in here, it's just kind of honestly, this is not. I don't think this movie has terrible cinematography. I think the cinematography is pretty solid. I think the soundtrack's pretty solid. I mean, and that's pretty much the feel of this film. I don't actually have a lot to say about this because it's pretty basic and to the point. This film is really just It's not a bad film. Again, it's not a bad film by any means. It's just kind of it's there a lot. It doesn't do anything really bad. It just kind of does a lot of things that are just kind of like average to slightly above average and stuff. That's kind of what my feel is on it and stuff. I found the movie was directed by Susanna Fogle and stuff. I know she's directed another movie. I did not see that movie, so I can't comment on that, but I think she did a pretty good job here. I think she actually co-wrote this as well, which, again, I don't think the writing's bad. I think that's actually a pretty decent story. It's just, it kind of feels redundant, but that also might be because, it reminds me a lot of Spy and Get Smart. It kind of like you combine those 2 films, which I kind of look at. I kind of look at Get Smart as kind of that spy film of like, you take the person who's on the desk and stuff and you make them go out in the field, and that's kind of what Spy is, just with a female lead, but more. And then this kind of just feels kind of like a rip off of Spy, in all honesty. In all honesty, it's not a bad film. Again, it's not a bad film. I'd probably give it about a 3.2 out of 5 stars. Again, it does things that are good. I think it's a slightly above average film. but it's nothing super special. This is a movie that if you want to see a comedy in theaters, go see it. I'm not gonna say don't see it in theaters. It's not a movie that needs to be seen in theaters, but you know, if you want to see a comedy and it's out, go see it. It's not a bad film. You'll probably laugh. Just it's a little bit longer than your average comedy. I'd rent it and stuff. That's one movie I'd say if I had to see it again, I'd probably just rent it instead of going to the theater to see it. But not a bad film. So as always, guys, thanks for watching. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And as always, see you next time.